You know, a lot of times you see when a couple gets together, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so great. They just look so good together. It just seems like such a natural fit. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it just feels a little odd and random. And maybe it's just going to take me a little minute here to get used to Katy Perry and the former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. But it does seem kind of random just how you wind up with a former Canadian Prime Minister. So I guess it all kind of works out, but it's not even close to the most random celebrity couple of all time. Already some really good suggestions, and some of them are kind of recent. One text from Shannon in Jupiter said, the whole Billy Ray Cyrus and Elizabeth Hurley relationship is kind of odd to me. And you're right, it is just random. Random in the sense that I didn't even know they knew each other. And just how she winds up with him, and I don't know, he's just, and also to Billy Ray, his hair just is getting so long. Is he not cutting it? I don't even know what's going on.
There's a point where you let it go too long and you kind of get lost in the hair sauce.
You do. I think, honestly, you could pair Billy Ray Cyrus with anybody and it would feel random and odd. But yeah, especially Elizabeth Hurley. It's just like, okay, how'd that happen? Can't even figure that out. Maybe the most random celebrity couple of all time, going way back. Flavor of Love. Flavor Flav, Brigitte Nielsen.
That was weird, dog. That was a weird relationship.
That has to be number one, right?
It is up there.
Yeah, I would think that's one of my top nominees.
I always thought the Billy Bob Thornton, Angelina Jolie was weird.
That is kind of random too, yes.
And not even because of the age. I felt like their energy, they had vampire energy.
They were both, I think, in a weird place, and they found each other at a weird time and had a weird relationship. You're right.
Yeah, and maybe they were doing it on purpose for the camera.
Performative. Yeah, that could be, and I wonder that about Flavor Flav and Brigitte Nielsen. Were they really into each other, or was that just performative? Because people are like, okay, this is kind of blowing my mind.
Anna Nicole Smith and the old guy.
Yes, it was... It wasn't random because it was deliberate. You could see right through it. I mean, she's with the guy because he was loaded. If he was a poor dude that just came rolling out of the nursing home with not a penny to his name, there's no way they're together. So it seemed a little bit more calculated, but it was definitely odd. How about, you remember when Julia Roberts was with this singer named Lyle Lovett?
I do.
It was her Pretty Woman days. It was way back in the day, but she was the hottest thing in Hollywood, and he was, kind of a lower named musical guy that didn't have the looks of some of the other frontmen that you'd seen in music.
But he was a musician, and sometimes they get away with,
But it's like, it just seemed very random to me how they wound up together. But probably what trumps that one was Lisa Marie Presley and Michael Jackson.
They have maybe the most awkward kiss of all time caught on screen.
It just, you couldn't believe the energy.
It was one of the weirdest kisses ever.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to believe that one. I saw, too, that Tom Green just got remarried. Remember when he was married to Drew Barrymore?
Oh, my gosh. That poor Tom.
Poor Tom. You think she would wear on you quick?
I don't know, man. And this is coming from somebody who is a lot. Drew Barrymore is a lot.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely. Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra. You remember that one?
I do.
And I think they were arrested. I think it was in Miami.
That kind of makes sense to me. They were both a little crazy. Partiers.
Yeah.
That one doesn't weird me out as much as the other ones.
I think the reason why it stands out is because remember what happened with the corkscrew pasta?
No.
Oh, you didn't hear that part of it?
I got it. There's been so many weird stories, Kev.
He said she put it in his tuchus. And he didn't like it.
How did that story elude me?
I don't know. Maybe I just made it up, but I swear that was a story.
That's amazing.
It's so bizarre. I don't think I could come up with that on my own.
She said that, or that came from him?
I think it was from him. He had said that's what happened because when they both got arrested, they're like, what happened? And he's like, we were having an adult intimate moment, and she went for the corkscrew pasta, and I was not feeling that.
Were they having an adult moment or dinner?
Yeah, no, it was a little bit of both, but yeah, I assume it was uncooked. Otherwise, it might be enjoyable. I don't know.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, check that out. There are a couple other ones that kind of jump off, too. Did you know that Cher used to date Tom Cruise in the 80s? And she later called him one of her top 5 lovers.
I can't believe that. That's my Cher. Also, it sounds like Jodie Foster. That's...
I almost feel like anybody Tom Cruise is with feels random. But Cher and Tom Cruise, I don't know.
Well, if he attacks the bedroom like he attacks a movie, I mean, look out.
Yeah.
This mission is not impossible.
Jeff texts in. He said Madonna and Dennis Rodman. Yeah, that was honestly Madonna and Dennis Rodman both. Anybody they're with, it does feel kind of random. Even the Madonna Vanilla Ice back in the day.
Madonna had some odd ones.
Madonna and anybody just, I don't know why. It just feels kind of random to me. And Patricia said Whoopi Goldberg and Ted Danson. Yeah, that was an odd.
Why? I don't. They're both comedians. They're roughly around the same age.
Yeah, I guess. I think there's just some people that it feels like when they're in a relationship, I don't know. I guess you're just so used to seeing Whoopi Goldberg. That's really about the only public relationship we know of that she's had, right?
My Goldberg knowledge is not that great.
Mine neither, but yeah, I think it's just sometimes they're just people that when they're in a relationship, it just feels kind of odd. And Kane Up in the KBJ TV chat, she said Kris Kardashian and the guy that she's with right now. Yeah, there's an age difference there, and I'm not sure what he really brings to the table. Corey something or other is his name. I try not to follow the family
Corey,
that close. Yeah.
Matthews, no. That
doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. And Yazora said Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon's relationship was odd to me. And another one was Courtney Love and Ed Norton. They used to date right after The People versus Larry Flint.
She was fantastic in that movie. I don't care what anybody says about Courtney Love. If she would have kept it together, would have been a good actor. She would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
She was really good.
No, you're right. Absolutely. But I don't know how deep she could go because it's almost like she played herself in that movie.
I know.
You think she's a great actress?
She did not play herself in that movie. She played actually a straight lace kind of or am I thinking of Kaufman? She's just a good actor. She's good.
I think she was kind of dysfunctional in that movie, wasn't she?
I can't. I'm getting them all confused. She did 3 really good movies that she was about to take off, and I think her.
Wonder why she stopped.
Her personal life, I think her.
She stopped herself.
Well, I think she definitely stopped herself.
Oh, and Anna said Ryan Reynolds and Alanis Morissette. They're both Canadian.
No, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
They grew up, I think, doing TV stuff together, possibly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, some interesting and great suggestions. Appreciate that. You can always get through to us, 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. Another one for MGK and Megan Fox. Yeah, they're both a little out there. I guess it is kind of random. How do you feel about Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley? Do you think that was kind of random?
Well, just because people always would bag on Billy's looks and say he wasn't classically handsome and she was a supermodel.
Yep.
She was super tall. He's not the tallest guy. So, she could have gotten everybody and she picked the Piano Man. And I think she picked a fine choice, although I think he might have not been the best husband.
One text said Neil Young and Daryl Hannah.
That is bizarre. See, to me, Neil Young
That's random.
should only lay with a guitar at night.
Right. He's another one of those. You compare him with anybody big, it just feels weird to me.
I think he either just like a stack of hay or a guitar.
And another one said David Spade and Heather Locklear.
Spade was cleaning up for a while, man.
Yeah, he had a good run. Absolutely. And another text says, my random celebrity couple would be Jerry Seinfeld and that 19-year-old. Shoshana Lonstein, right?
I don't think she was 19. I think she was... Let me look it up before I say it. I thought it was a different age than that.
Yeah. And one text says, how is no one saying Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift? Yeah. I spent a moment thinking about that. They were showing all of her previous exes, and she had a lot of smaller, svelte guys that either were actors or musicians. And that's been a lot of the people that she's had. And then to have kind of this big old bulky tight end that's a football player, it was at least a departure. Now, is it completely random? Are they kind of mismatched? I don't know about that.
Back to the Jerry Seinfeld. Yes, comedian Jerry Seinfeld had a controversial relationship with Shoshana Lonstein, which began in 1993 when she was 17 and he was 38.
Okay.
So that's why it was controversial.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it should have been.
I'm not sure we're 19.
Random / illegal.
Yeah.
I get you.